Welcome back to DXB Today, where tonight we are going to be talking about investing with an impact. We're talking impact investing. But what specifically are we going to be talking about on the show?
I signed up for an exceptional dining experience with Awatara, infusing soulful Indian food with culinary art.
Yeah, and right here in the studio, we've got talented performers, the Gems Trio, joining us right here. But today it is all about impact investment, and we had a bit of a chat before we went live tonight. Impact investment. We're going to be educated, I think, this evening, aren't we, Faraz?
We're going to try. We're going to try our hardest.
Yeah. Amy, you actually realised after finding out what impact investment is that you yourself are an impact investor.
Yeah, I mean, I've never even heard this term before, but yeah, I worked on a project in Leeds where they were creating cheaper housing for homeless people as part of the project. So that is actually impact investing. So I invested on that project.
You're just a very good person, aren't you, Amy?
I try to be. You know, I've got to make up for all my sins, haven't I? You know.
You hide it very well. But no, actually, I realised the same thing because I'd never heard that term, impact investing.
Yeah.
But I really do believe in impossible meat, so I have invested in impossible meat. Not a huge amount of money, but I believe in it, and yeah, that's what I've done.
Yeah,
you know what impossible meat is? It's vegan meat. It's vegan meat. It tastes exactly like meat, but it's no animals are harmed.
It's basically what I eat and you don't eat, Amy.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're going to educate ourselves more. As you can tell, we don't know that much, so we're bringing in the experts. So we're going to have a guest co-host here, but first, let's find out who it is.
Hi, this is Maher Al Kaabi. I'm an independent board member at Sitka Group of Companies. I can't wait to see you shortly.
Yes, Maher will join us right here in just a little bit, but first.
Amy, you really do get all the good gigs. But back to investing, and we're very excited to welcome our guest co-host in the studio, a visionary who is defining business opportunities in the Middle East through his commitment to innovation and finance. Please join us in welcoming to DXB today, Maher Al Kaabi, who's an independent board member with Al Serkal. Thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure. Thank you very much. Likewise.
Now, we were talking a little bit about impact investing. Why is it so important?
First, let's define it, at least for us, all of us to be aligned and understand it. It has to fit all the three verticals, which is social. I overheard you saying about social a little bit, which is very, very important, all of you. And then also environment, which is also crucially very important. But at the same time, we need to make sure that it is creating an economic value. Because a lot of people believe that when you do a social impact investment, probably you're not going to make money out of it. On the contrary, you have to make money in order for it to be sustainable, and then you do it. So there's have been a good trends going on in UAE to do a social impact investment.
Definitely, and we have spoken to people on the show before who do things, as you say, that might be considered, you know, a CSR, not really something that's going to make you money. But it's not true. In fact, when the environment's better, we're all happier, productivity goes up. What other examples are the benefits of impact investment?
If you look at today UAE landscape in terms of preserving the environment, one of the kind of immediate trends that we're looking at is how do we make sure we're environmentally friendly? We all talk about gases, which is going up on the air quite a lot, which is kind of heating up the environment. So UAE is making stride in terms of impact investment when it comes to renewable energies. Masdar is a company that we all heard about, being there for about 16 years. They've got active projects as we speak today and actively been investing globally, over 40 projects. And we're talking about $40 billion over there being invested. So there's a lot happening over there when it comes to renewable energy. When it comes to housing and social and creating workforce for the new generation, how do we bring in the digital economy to infuse that development where sustainability can actually take a lead as well?
Maher, I want to talk about the scope of the UAE when it comes to impact investment. It has grown tenfold in the last couple of years. Talk to me about that transformation, because is it now people are realizing how important it is to actually work with from the ground up with small businesses and actually build the foundation with them from the get-go?
Sure. The ecosystem of building startups and SMEs have started very long ago, since 1982 with Khalifa Fund. And also we all know about Dubai SME has been there, it's only got the name changed. So it's very important, imperative that we work with these startup companies who are coming up with innovative ideas which are fueling the development of the economy. Now we all started, we hold about Dubai being one of the smartest cities, and that's the aspiration. And we had 3x and 10x and 10x, and now we have D33. And today also further announcement happened. How do we further permeate the development of the economy His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Rashid also led that yesterday, and he talked about how do we increase the investment, how do we increase the era that we have today over here, how do we also make sure that whatever we do are sustainable. So there was a KPI being launched, how can we reduce the carbon emission by 30%? But who's going to be doing this thing? In collaboration with the private sectors. So whatever we do today, even the policies we issue, I also happen to sit as a chair, part of the Dubai UAE Circular Economy Council. We work very hand in hand with corporates and private sectors.
Faris and myself, we didn't even know that we were impact investors until we actually sat down and looked at this subject. How would you recommend somebody getting involved into being an impact investor and on different scopes, so whether you're a company or whether you're an individual?
This is an excellent question because that's a challenge, by the way. We need to find who are really offering those investment funds today. And we need to be very careful. So as a soul yourself, it will be very difficult to find out. So you need to associate yourself with a company where they have a track record, well, they'll tell you where they're investing. So only then you can go and participate on this fund. But for you to go find out yourself, sometimes it's going to be a bit challenging. So it's very important that you work with banks, investment houses, who will actually direct you and tell you, these are the actually accredited impact investment funds that are available, and this is where they're going to be investing in, and this is the impact they've created in the past. So then you're actually aware you're really making an impact in the environment over here as well.
And speaking of which, I'm actually very interested to know what industries and what sectors are seeing the biggest growth when it comes to impact investing, because surely there's some more than others that are interested
100%.
in that kind of thing.
The two key ones, and I keep on saying globally, if you look at the trends now, the two key trends globally going on, one is digital economy, for which now UAE have launched the agenda in 2022 by Minister of Economy, and the circular economy. And both are trending very well. And the digital economy will actually fuel the development of circular economy. Now, digital economy, anything to do with the AI, digital twins, IoTs, blockchain, cryptocurrencies, and circular economy, anything to do with environmental related matters like sustainability, renewable energy. How do we make sure we come off from linear economy to a circular economy? So these are the two key trends actually taking strides, and UAE is in the forefront leading that. And I think COP28 was a good testimony, what we have delivered, what we have done. Lots of project has been announced, and a lot of showcase has happened as well. But all has worked with collaborating with so many government, so many countries, and so many companies that we're working with them.
Maher, thank you. I feel so educated already, and I feel like now we have more guests joining us who are going to tell us a lot more about the space here in the UAE. So we hope you will stay with us. But for now, coming up, we find out how venture capital firms can help take your company to the next level with the team at Global Ventures. So stay with us.
Welcome back to DXB today, where tonight we are talking impact investment. And who better to join us in this discussion than a senior partner of the region's leading venture capital firm. Please join me in welcoming C3 founder and senior partner of Global Ventures, Medea Nocentini. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. Very exciting.
As an introduction, what sort of things do you do on your day-to-day when it comes to venture capital?
So for sure, we screen a lot of companies, about 50 a week. So it's a lot of innovative, incredible change makers that we meet on a regular basis. And then, of course, we help the ones that we have already invested in. We have more than 60 now across 3 funds. And also, we run accelerator programs. This is on the C3 side. And so we meet all the new generations of incredible entrepreneurs from the region. We typically focus on Middle East and Africa, but also sometimes we look at other countries such as Pakistan, Turkey, and other emerging markets.
Medea, you guys do incredible work at C3 when it comes to impact investment with entrepreneurs. You kind of help them from A all the way to Z. You even find them investors, all the way through. I'm interested to know, as an entrepreneur, why would it be beneficial to them commercially to go down the impact road and actually, not just do it as a box tick, everyone likes to do that, but why is it deeply important for the foundation of their company to have us focus on impact?
I'll split the answer in two. There are the companies that are not intentional about impacts. We do believe they should at least consider what we call ESG risk assessment, risk mitigation, so they make sure they don't do harm. Doing harm, in particular in a social media and very well connected environment globally, it's a huge risk. One mistake on many different things like child labor, not checking how old your drivers are, anything as such can ruin in a second an incredible company. Then there are the founders that are intentional about the impact. And what I like, it's when they see a huge global challenge as an incredible business opportunity. So they don't see a challenge, they see a business opportunity. While they are making money, they're also making a change in the world.
I love that.
So I want to ask, can you tell us any success stories of impact investment that have been made by your companies?
So Global Ventures invest in commercial entities, mission-driven, so we love those companies, those founders that really believe in what they're doing. We have a few examples, I could go on and on forever, I'll pick a couple. We have a company called Proximi, which is basically a healthcare company that has softwares that can work at a very low level of bandwidth that allow for surgeries to happen with different doctors in different parts of the world. And it was founded by a doctor from Lebanon, Dr. Nadine, so it's really an incredible solution, and now they are in tens of countries around the world, not only in emerging markets. And then we have another one, which is Red Sea Farms, and now rebranding as Iris. They can grow vegetables in the desert with salty water and just the power of light. They patented a series of technologies which is just incredible to see, with same yields, same nutritionals. They started from Saudi and now they're expanding in the US as well. So, and I could go on and on, I probably stop here.
Matty, if I can ask, I know Global Ventures have been doing fantastically well, and you can see how it's transitioning the impact investment in the UAE and within the region as well. What else do you think we require to permeate the awareness and further build the ecosystem?
Surely we need to prove, as we're doing as we speak, that investing in impact solutions, it's not compromising business returns. It doesn't compromise impact on one side, but it doesn't compromise any business returns. The investors will get as much money as they will do if they invest in pure commercial solutions. That's something where I believe we'll need another 5 to 10 years to have enough companies that have returned enough money with an impact at the core of their strategy. And I'm very positive. We see that happening. It's not a long wait for sure. And then probably we need to help more the entrepreneurs to learn how to measure their impact without spending too much time, too much money, so that they can prove that not only they're growing as a business, but they're also having a positive impact, which is the most difficult thing. There are not a lot of global frameworks yet that are widely accepted and acceptable. A little bit more research will be helpful to have some benchmarks. But I would say it's coming. I've been doing this kind of work for the past 12 years, and in the last decade, I've seen incredible change, in particular in the region. I'm very excited about how the UAE is leading this agenda. We'll go fast and we'll do well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Medea, one thing that I'm quite, just a bit sure about is that we haven't been educated very much on this matter. But how do we spread that education? Because it is education at the end of the day. We need to make sure everyone's informed on this subject to even consider, being a part of the movement. So how do we educate the nation more? How do we spread the word?
I think at the university level, we can do more. We have started working with some universities here in the UAE, but I do believe the new generations of engineers, of business students, and so forth, they are ready to get that level of knowledge and then implement it not only in the startup world, but also in the corporate that eventually they will join later. And so, for example, we had the program with Engie, which is a renewable huge conglomerate from France, also based here in the UAE, that involved engineers from all faculties in the UAE that actually could join Angie on this incredible program. It was an internship program, but it was geared towards COP and finding solutions for the huge challenges that we face as humanity. It was really incredible. I think we learned more than the students during the process. It was fascinating. So definitely working more with students and the new generation of leaders, but also I would say just involve the community more into what we do and what we see every day, because it's just getting in touch with those entrepreneurs and the solutions they bring to the world, their community, the impact on their community, that you see with your own eyes how incredible all of this is.
Thank you so much, Medea, for educating us three further on the matter. Thank you. Now, today.
Welcome back to DXB Today. Tonight we are talking impact investments, and who better to talk to than somebody who actually does do impact investing. Please join me in welcoming to the show a sustainability investor. It's Matteo Boffa. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me here.
So when we say you're an impact investor, especially when it comes to sustainability, are we talking in companies, in people, in softwares? What is it that you focus on, or all of the above?
So I specialize in investing in people, so mostly in startups, so very early stage. Usually people mention angel investor. I enter a bit early in the friends, family and fool round, so people that believe more in the person than the idea sometimes.
Fair enough. And how has that worked out for you when it comes to those types of investments?
So far good. I have to say I have my secret sauce, which is my wife, which is the final decision maker in any investment decision. But so far I did some good investment, especially in the UAE, investing in young students from different universities.
Incredible.
Matteo, tell me, do you have a criteria in place or a process in place for actually knowing that these are the people that you want to invest in?
So as I mentioned, for me, the first and most important part is the human behind the idea. I invested in the past in great product, great services, in the right place, in the right moment, and the team and the startup failed because of the human factor. So this is for me is the most important part.
I think one of the challenges people face, particularly when we look at investment, when it's investment funds, how do we identify that they're really doing the real thing of investing something really impactful? How do we identify that? How do you identify that?
So in my personal opinion is on 3 levels of sustainability. If your startup, your idea, your company has a positive impact in society, in people, that's the first pillar. The second one is the environment. So again, if you avoid pollution to being created or to end up in landfill, for example, is the second pillar. And the third pillar of sustainability is, of course, the financial aspects. So if you can touch the 3 pillar of sustainability, which is social, environmental, and financial, you can have something extremely successful.
I think there's often a misconception if you want to invest in something that you have to have a lot of money to be able to do that. Would you say that that is true? And if not, how would you say that people can get involved themselves?
So I don't know if you can see it, but my pockets are very small. I don't have a lot of money, unfortunately, but I invest very small amount that can be from $10,000 to $50,000 in a very early stage idea. And you don't need much money. You have people that invest in cryptocurrency and put way more, and look at screen every day for me is giving literally a chance to a young person, a young student with a good idea to really try and make it. And this as well is sustainability in giving a chance to somebody.
Matteo, I want to talk about mindset, and I want to bring you in this as well, Maher, because I feel like there is a psychological correlation between wanting to invest, which is basically putting in money to get money back, and not caring too much about sustainable things, about social things. Is there a benefit to people who literally don't care about the environment? Is there still a benefit for them in terms of making money and appealing to those kinds of instincts?
Yes, of course. Investing in impactful startup maybe can be a bit longer in terms of return of investment, but of course it can be extremely interesting. From my personal side, entering early give me the chance to get or acquire a good chunk of shares, and after I have other people which have more philanthropic approach and they just want to make an investment which is different to leave the money in the bank. Not caring about the environment is something that's unfortunately it's still there for certain investor. Hopefully there are more people in the future that will put money where there is an impact.
Definitely.
So Matteo, I asked you earlier if you have to have a lot of money to be able to invest. But so to follow up with that question, I just wanted to know, what is the timeline that you can expect to see a return once you have made an investment?
So for me, the good part is that can be quite early, because entering early means getting a lot of shares that you can flip or sell in the secondary market to other bigger investors. So I usually am the crazy guy that put the money on the table and a little bit pray, and I have people that says, okay, you jump in the cage with the tigers, if you crawl out, we will be there to put more money at a higher valuation. So for me, can be early stage return of investment and keeping some shares for the future.
Okay.
Matteo, I have to ask you, because I'm very nosy like that, are there any investments that you have made that have proven to be fruitful? Can you share those projects or company or concepts with us?
Yeah, I have two very good examples. One is Teli, which is coming from a mind of, at that time, 19 years old student from Amity University that created the first 100% vegan shoes made from plastic bags and plastic bottle. Was doing a competition startup. He came out with not a pair of shoes, but one single left shoes prototype of a shoe made of plastic, the most ugliest shoe I ever saw in my life. He won the competition. The day after, we had a coffee. I put $10,000 on the table, and now the company is valued more than $5 million. So that's
Wow.
Eventually is a good it's a good story. Another one is Zofer, which is one of the fast-growing startup in the region, and I enter when they only had 2 drivers. And now we have over 500. So this is another good story, and the social impact is taking home people that are not willing to drive.
I love that. I use Zofer a lot, actually.
Matteo, if I may, I think it's good to give perspective to the audience and everybody. What is the successful rate of your investments so far have been?
So my personal rate is around 10%. If we look, my wife rate, we are very close to the 100%. She's a fantastic teacher. She's not very into the business world, but she has this empathy, and she can really recognize the value of people. So she does the gladiator style decision, yes, no, once we met the founders, and she's my secret sauce.
So it seems like high risk, but high reward in the end. Thank you, Matteo. Thank you so much for joining us on DXB today. It's over to Amy, though, for DXB in 60.
It is indeed. Maher, we're going to put you in the hot seat right now. Of course, you've given us some incredible insight when it comes to impact investment, but we want to get to know you a little bit better. So quick fire questions. Can I have 60 seconds on the clock? And let's go. If you weren't working in investments, what would you be doing?
Teaching.
Fantastic. Your motto in life and in work?
Help human beings.
Always. A superpower that you wish you had?
Flying.
I'd love to fly too. Your first ever job?
Accidental co-founder of an IT company.
Okay. The last app that you used on your mobile phone?
Instagram.
It's a good one. A podcast recommendation?
Keep on helping people.
Okay. A future trend that you see coming up in the world of investments and funding?
It'll be more in technology, which is quantum computing applications.
Okay, sounds like something I know a lot about. And if you could have dinner with anyone dead or alive, who would it be?
Sorry, what?
If you could have dinner with anyone dead or alive, who would it be?
My father.
Oh, lovely. Your go-to place in Dubai?
Home.
Always. And why Dubai?
It's a land of opportunities.
It definitely is. It most definitely is. Thank you so much for giving us a little insight into you as a person. Thank you
very much.
Maher, it's been amazing having you as our guest co-host. I'm sure we'll see you again. Thank you so much for being on DXB today.
Pleasure. Thank you very much. So kind of you.
Matteo, it's been absolutely wonderful talking to you as well. We hope to see you again soon.
Thank you so much for the invite.
All right, but for right now, there is still more left to the show. We're going to have our performance, of course. The Gems Trio are going to be taking the stage very, very soon, so you definitely don't want to go anywhere now. We'll see you back here.